Hello, and welcome to episode number 34 of Dark Souls 2 Fume Knight, more like Fumanity Restored. I'm your host, Niko, they, them, and I'm joined as always by Peregrine, they, them.
I'm fuming.
Good. We also have Mo, he, him.
Hi, everybody. I'm excited to get into it tonight. I watched John Wick 2 today, and I hope we can make the blue smelter demon excommunicado.
Excellent. And finally, we have Sparkletone, they, them.
Hello. I don't really have anything to talk about tonight that isn't, like, mid to late game judgment stuff, so we'll see how this goes.
We're going to have to find something. We can talk about John Wick.
You can't hear it on the recording, but I'm giving you judge eyes right now.
Given the basic setup for the plot of that game, the idea of giving me judge eyes is extremely upsetting.
On a scale of... of side eye to Dark Souls 3 eye giving, how bad are we talking here?
Part of the basic plot of the game, this is not a huge spoiler, it's like the first half hour, it's part of the elevator pitch or the back of the box description. There is a serial killer in the game, and maybe they have a thing with eyes.
Oh, so it's a Bloodborne eye level kind of thing.
Maybe less cosmic. I don't know that that team is ever going to make a cosmic horror game set in Kamurocho. But if they wanted to, I would play the hell out of it.
They did make zombie Yakuza.
Sort of, but not very well. And then there's the side quests in Zero and the more recent remakes that have like kind of a mediocre zombie thing to it.
So something I think about whenever anyone says judge eyes is the phrase realize, realize, realize.
You're not the only one.
And I thought that was a Tupac quote. It's not.
It's a Jaden Smith tweet, right?
It's a Pink Floyd.
Wait, really?
Just gave Piper at the Gates of Dawn another listen, and at the very end of Take Up Thy Stethoscope and Run, Sid sings the above. So I looked up the lyrics, and all of the websites say he says, realize, realize, realize. Like, does anyone know the official lyrics? Because I feel like it could be the latter.
I don't think I've heard that particular Pink Floyd album since the 90s, so...
When did they make that album?
Like the 80s or earlier.
Oh, that's why I don't know.
It's like 30 or 40 years old.
Oh, no, this is the earliest one. I was going to say
the 60s if it's
Sid Barrett. Yeah.
It's 67.
Yeah, you're right. I forgot how long they were around before they became, like,
washed.
World...
Because 80s Pink Floyd is
famous.
Not good. What I remember in high school was I got like the main Pink Floyd albums, and then I was like, wow, a band I like, great. And then I bought A Momentary Lapse of Reason, and never have I felt an album to be more accurately described by its title.
Okay, our souls.
God, I just had a Freudian slip where I said tighter instead of title. I need a vacation. Ugh.
Well, all you're getting is a long weekend, so...
This is punishment for even when I wasn't at work, I was watching Evangelion, found like 3 frames of an episode where Rey is reading a textbook, realized it had biology on it, and spent like the next 2 hours trying to figure out the deeper meaning, and concluding that there was none. It was just someone found some vaguely scientific-looking things somewhere and pasted them in.
Well, what would be in a biology textbook for a 14-year-old in 2015?
Asuka has a college degree.
Oh, I always forget that bit of, like, character info.
Also, we know there's some... Folks, there... Ayanami Rei, some shit going on. That's all I'm gonna say.
I mean, that's the
True of a
whole
lot of
show.
characters.
Some shit going on is the whole show.
Yeah, arguably every character. Which, you know...
Every aspect of
that's
every...
unique for anime.
Every character, every little bit of it, some shit going on. That's kind of it.
That's Ava. God, I need an edit of the owl from Digimon Tamers, but instead
we're
of
here
Deva,
already.
it says
It's party time.
Ava.
Who's ready to party
It's party
on a Friday
time.
night?
I'm gonna try push-ups again tonight, and I am not ready.
It is Sir Alon. We've been fighting his knights since the Iron Keep. Well, here he is. He's really cool.
That's a Sekiro
Last
move
episode
right there.
we were fuming mad. This episode we're hopping mad. I can't wait until we're dancing mad.
Oh, he takes good damage too. That's nice.
Oh yeah, thank God.
Yeah.
Let's see how he takes damage from spells. Ah, fuck.
Yeah, I guess the only thing I
Remember
would
to
say up
dodge.
front is that once you step through the fog door, you don't need to worry about the time limit anymore. That only applies to the run up to this fight.
Ooh.
Oops.
Oh,
that
you do
was-
good damage, but that's...
Yeah. Problem is, I'm only gonna have a chance to cast one spell in between, and he closes the distance so much that I don't know if casting spells is really better than melee.
Oh yeah, he's got moves.
Yeah. All right.
I have never successfully confirmed this, but I have. It is a commonly. It is at least a commonly repeated a commonly repeated belief that if you bow to Sir Alon when you enter the arena, he doesn't attack quite as immediately, but I think that's horse shit. It would be cool if it was true, but it's not.
That's some serious playground rumor type bullshit.
Well, there is there are games that have done that before, where if you sort of acknowledge a boss before the fight starts, they react a little differently to it. But I don't really believe that this is one of them. I've tried it on multiple occasions, and he didn't seem to bow back to me or stand up more slowly or anything. He just came at me.
Truly disrespectful.
I will say that if you defeat him without taking damage, his death animation is different. That one, there's proof of that.
Have you done that?
Oh,
that's
I
wild.
haven't. No, I am.
I thought you
decent.
platinumed the game.
Can you not run through that?
Yeah, getting the platinum trophy doesn't require beating literally anything without taking damage. All it requires is a bunch of time and a checklist you found on the internet.
I feel like running through this whole section seems dangerous. Oh, lost connection to Steam. Great.
I have never.
I could try it.
I have
I don't have
watched
much to lose
people
right now.
do it for the all bosses speed run, but I have never been able to do it consistently.
That's my worry. I'm even if I get it 1 out of 2 or 3 times or something, that's still a lot of wasted time. But we'll give it a shot.
Do dream enemies despawn?
The enemies in this despawn, yes. In fact,
All right, I'm gonna go with no. That does not seem viable. They run too fast, and I was out of stamina the whole time.
Yeah. The enemies do despawn. The couple times I have done this bit of the game, I spent more tries and more time just like clearing out this little run up to the fight than on the fight itself. But once you get it, like once you get kind of like this room mostly cleared out, it starts getting a lot easier to go more quickly if you don't know specifically where to run. 'Cause for me, it's not the knights following you that's the problem, it's the lizards. They are like positioned specifically to mess with you, so or at least mess with me.
What are other lyrics that have been attributed to multiple bands or rappers or people?
Well, I know there are like the songs that, like, you know, the one, the Familiar Faces one that was redone by the one group and no one remembers the original group that did it.
Genius of Love by Tom Tom Club?
Mad World?
No, oh yeah, we're on to two different.
Uh-huh.
I think of Genius of Love because it's like the most sampled song of all time. And it's basically by the Talking Heads. Except for David Byrne. I'm here because of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I came here for the James Brown. 1982, 10 years old, going to Yankee Stadium on the number 4, and my older brother playing this on his Panasonic boombox. This is the most wholesome YouTube comments ever.
Wow.
What are you reading the YouTube comments on? Please not the horrifying bodybuilder Mayo video.
No, of course not. Oh, I just DM'd it to you. I posted it in the wrong chat. You know this song, right? You must.
What, Genius of Love? Yes. Of course I do. What?
No. I don't think I ever heard this.
You must have.
If you haven't heard it, you have almost certainly just kind of heard something with parts of it in it.
Yeah, you've definitely heard it sampled if you haven't heard the original song.
No, it's the performance of Genius of Love in Stop Making Sense is one of my favorite parts of the movie.
Same. But I don't know that Peregrine has seen Stop Making Sense.
Well,
I don't even know what that is.
Peregrine should go fix that, like, tomorrow.
Peregrine.
I've never stopped making sense.
Google Stop Making Sense, and I think it's just on YouTube, so just watch it.
I mean, it might not be legally on YouTube. Definitely, you can find. You can even find the.
That's YouTube's problem.
Yeah, so
That's not my problem.
Peregrine, and for the people who don't know,
Oh.
Stop Making Sense is one of the most famous concert films ever made. I am.
What is a concert? Wait, what? What is that? A phrase.
It is
about?
exactly what it fucking sounds like. Come on. I am blanking on the name of who directed it.
Oh
but-
gosh,
Is it
Rob
De Palma?
Reiner?
No, it's not Rob
Oh,
Reiner.
so this is what A Mighty Wind was parodying.
Almost. Sort
Oh,
of.
Jonathan Demme.
There it is. Yes.
We kind of split the difference on that one.
We sure did.
Oh, I'm not gonna enjoy this.
You should you should watch it just for the like. Stop Making Sense is visually very interesting. Even if you don't like the music, it is like it's creating a certain vibe and like feeling that is very cool.
I mean, you've been
Okay,
seeing.
yeah.
It's
You've been
very
seeing
like indicative of the 80s.
Peregrine, you've been seeing references to David Byrne wearing a big suit for basically your whole life. Don't you want to see David Byrne actually wear the big suit?
Oh, I forgot how much I love the whole thing, really. But the backup singers have such good
they're
moves.
Incredible. And Bernie Worrell also.
So by concert movie, it's just the concert.
Actually,
No,
it is
not necessarily.
multiple concerts edited together, so that they could have kind of the most perfect takes.
Like
and then
Spinal
on
Tap.
top of that, rather
Spinal
than
Tap is
just
basically
like
the
rather
parody
than
of
just rather
yeah,
than just
gotcha.
splicing together like the audio from whichever one of the concerts a given shot happened to be, the band went back and like pretty heavily redubbed the like raw soundboard recordings to make everything like it's part of the thing that it's doing is being more artificial than just like yep, come on, get him.
Nope. I was out of
No
stamina.
stamina. Yeah, no, that was a good call.
Nope.
Now I've got
There
stamina.
you go.
Yeah, he's not gonna one shot you.
Oh my god.
You're gonna
Yeah,
win.
didn't that
Oh
feel
my
great?
You're
god.
gonna
It feels so
two-shot
good
him.
after the last like 3 weeks.
Isn't
Just-
that a fun fight? It's a really fun fight. His moveset is really cool. Like, he's
Yeah.
tough, but not like the worst. It's really fun. The exits to your right.
Just gonna
But-
look at this
but
view for a little
yeah,
bit.
so Stop Making Sense has a lot more editing on both the visual and the like music performance side than just like somebody standing in the crowd and pointing a camera at the
Yeah. stage,
or than like a professionally shot like concert festival type thing. It does a lot more than that. Look, it's a cool throne.
Oh. the
What's your
last
favorite
Muffler
song
Wedge.
from Stop Making Sense?
I don't know how to answer that because
Well, like, what's your
Oh.
favorite moment in the movie? Like,
I can't pick one. That's
Am
not how
I
that
just going to
works.
automatically leave when time runs up now, or?
mine is
You
the...
can feather home. I don't know why you're hanging out
Oh,
here.
that's a good point.
Other than that, it looks
But-
cool.
Yeah,
I do
look
like
at the polish
reflective
on that floor.
Floor, yeah.
So my hot takes about Stop Making Sense are it's a very underwhelming This Must Be the Place performance, and him
Oh, here we
dancing
go.
with the lamp is overrated, but it's the best Burning Down the House performance. It's such a good My favorite part is Burning Down the House, like the first minute when it's all building.
Let's go cash in.
Yeah, so we need to get
use
we need
the
to get
last,
a
smelter
blunt
deck.
weapon.
Oh yes, let's do that.
That order worked out pretty well because my thought was like, if that goes well, then we can use the souls to upgrade a weapon. We were talking about this between episodes, and the real problem that I've been running into with the smelter demon is that he's just really resistant to magic damage, and both the Moonlit Greatsword and my spells are both magic damage, unlike the Falchion, which was physical damage. Falchion kind of sucks, just regular
Well,
ass
the
weapon, so-
Falchion does slash, which he's also resistant to.
Yeah.
So
hot tip was to use-
will do
Yeah.
do us some good.
Was switch weapons. I'm not going to respec or anything. I'm just going to bring a different weapon and see if that's much better. Because I've
let's
learned
go
the
visit-
moveset. The
let's go
problem is
visit
just
Macduff.
that the
Let's
oh, it's go
visit
there
Macduff.
first.
Well,
Okay.
we're gonna
Yeah.
enchant it, right? So it scales the way we want.
True. Yeah. The main problem has just been like how long that fight is because of how much health he has and how little damage he was taking, and that kind of turning into like, if I screw up once in an 8-minute long fight or however long it will end up being, then I'm dead. So
You might have aggroed the dogs if they're not despawned.
I think I thoroughly depopped this area because I was fighting the pursuer in that room. So I don't see any dogs anyway.
Yeah, it's if you run out of the room if there's like the two of them standing there, but I think we got rid of them.
All right, so let's see what we've got.
Yeah, so we need
something that I can wield.
I see 2 maces. What is the one that's already been like enchanted or something?
This is the raw ladle.
One row up.
Oh, magic mace. That's gonna do.
No, that is not what we want.
Yeah.
So let's take that morning star and get some work done.
There's another morning star. Can't use that. These are all 2-hand, I guess. These are all
yeah, those are big and have more like heavier strength requirements. We don't care about that. The morning star and the mace have pretty much the same moveset. And they both do strike damage, so we'll just take that one.
And we want to do enchanted, so that way it keeps. So like this was where magic changes it to do a mixture of physical and magic, and then this one does all physical, but it scales off of. Yeah. Okay.
That's the one.
Sounds good. Okay. So now we have an enchanted morning star, and now we want to level it up.
Yep.
Level up. Oh. So, a bunch of games came out on Switch, like, this past week or two. Basically, all the games came out all at once. And one of the things that came out is a Switch port of a mobile game called Dandy Dungeon from the maker of Million Onion Hotel. And, like,
How is that?
I have not played the Switch version. I played the mobile game for a bit, and like the mobile game elements of it really, really, really kept me from enjoying the experience.
I played I played both of them, and they both, were monetized in a cute but annoying way.
Million Onion Hotel was not monetized.
That
was actually
Onion
like a
Hotel
key
was
distinction.
Just annoying in a cute way.
Million Onion Hotel is just like a run. It's like they're both very repetitive, is what I will say, right? Million Onion Hotel's like set up like a high score puzzle game in a way that like you pay like what, $5 to get it and then you just have it. Whereas like Dandy Dungeon is like there's microtransactions like out the butt.
I want to say real quick that we are much less imposing with this like perfectly normal morning star instead of our like staff
with that
that's
helmet.
8 feet
I actually
tall
think
and
this
our sword that is as tall as we are.
There is something very unsettling about someone two-handing like a small weapon like that, just with their head wrapped in cheesecloth.
It's like out of a horror movie or something.
Yeah, like it's no longer like anime. It's now just like, oh no.
Speaking of which, I'm doing a doubleheader this weekend. I'm going to watch Hereditary with a friend, and then we're going to go see Midsummer. So that's going to be a time.
I have seen Hereditary. I want to see Midsummer, but I'm going to wait until it's on like streaming or rental or something.
Real quick to wrap up, I think Dandy Dungeon on Switch is a good idea on paper, but I think it still has like an incredible amount of grinding, which I really didn't enjoy. So it's still going to be really repetitive, even without the stamina bar. And then I think the events, which was like a big part of why I was interested in it, aren't in the Switch port. And I had a hard time like confirming this because I don't think any like game publishing outlets are going to be like, well, there's no Toho collaboration, so but there was a Toho collaboration, and if that's not in the Switch game, I'm not gonna buy it. Like, I am a person of very simple tastes, and that taste is if Toho, then want.
I didn't have anything else worth buying right now, right? Just cashing in the level.
Nah, you're good.
I mean, how many life gems do you have?
I have almost 99, so I'm good.
We're 94.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see how this goes.
Yeah. And I cleared it out like 2 weeks ago, so I don't even have to worry about the run. That was really what took most of the time with this boss. It wasn't the attempts on the boss itself. It was just clearing those enemies enough times that I didn't have to worry about that run. So,
right.
I think we've got this. And then, yeah, I guess if we beat this boss, then we're done here, and it's off to DLC number 3.
Yep. Real quick, the one caveat with the moveset for the Morning Star and weapons like it, if your swing connects with an enemy, it will you will get to do another one in like a pretty normal feeling amount of time. But if you miss, your character kind of does this little stagger, and you're kind of like open for a little bit.
That sounds
not
good.
not like forever, but just kind of keep in mind that you want to be real sure that you're gonna hit. Yeah.
Oh, good. I even get 2 hits. Oh, that's so good.
See, like,
so much
like, that's
better than
pretty,
like the.
And yeah, like those 2 were pretty normal, but if you miss that first one, you're just gonna be standing there while he hits you.
This is ultimately like, as much as I love the Moonlight Greatsword or whatever, this is like the build that I want the fan art of, you know? Just the like,
Oops.
the deadpan I can't with like the tiny ball on stick.
Yeah, against the giant blue monster.
Yeah.
So looking at the numbers, we are doing something like
Well, that wasn't the rhyme.
yeah, I was gonna say that's kind of the end of that one.
Oh, speaking of numbers.
Looking at the damage numbers, we were doing about.
I was doing about 200 per hit.
Yeah, I was gonna say we were
with the
doing
Moonlight.
about 2/3 of what a swing of the Moonlight Greatsword would do, but because you can most of the time get 2 hits safely and still be able to roll, you're doing quite a bit more.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
yeah.
and my normal play style with these sorts of games is a quick, like fast weapon, rather than the giant sword. So it's been a little bit of an adjustment for me to, like the huge benefit of the Moonlit Greatsword, besides the fact that it looks cool, is that it just has ridiculous range. So I don't have to worry about being super close, and I can still hit them with the tip of the sword or whatever. But
yeah, that's,
yeah, like choosing to attack at the wrong time or whatever, and like not getting a hit in or something just uses up a ton of stamina. And
I had a similar period of adjustment because kind of the weapon I finished this game with my first time through was the Murakumo, which is a curved greatsword, and it's like a dex weapon. It's a good time. I like that weapon in this game maybe more than the other 2. But I was very much counting on the fact that I could stagger most anything that wasn't a boss to kind of get through stuff, and occasionally I would whiff and have a bad time.
So someone I'm friends with is in North America for the first time, and they asked, why is there sugar-based food everywhere? And I was just like, because of capitalism.
Wait, what are they considering like sugar-based food in this? Like,
Just-
what counts in?
Imagine how, like, you know how in other parts of the world there isn't just like candy and like soda and like shit everywhere being shoved at you?
And candy in a lot of other
I don't-
parts of the world is like not even like chocolate and stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
It's just like,
Yeah,
there's
I
a
guess the
healthier
only other,
relationship
like-
with sugar-based products in other parts of the world, I feel like. Some of them.
I mean, there's I
I've
think
been
there's some
relatively
less,
aware.
but like the most recent place I've been was Japan, and like there's still like that stuff is still there, right? But
It's de-emphasized, I think. I've never
Yeah,
been,
I
we
guess it's like
definitely-
I'm so.
but I just mean in other places I know it's like it's de-emphasized in a way like
Yeah.
it's just
Well,
not.
it's 'cause
Have you ever-
I feel like
have
it's
any of
the
you ever
hyper
seen the
toast
show-
corn syrup, not the sugar, though. Like,
Have any
all
of you
this-
seen this? Sorry,
No, go ahead.
I'm just also having trouble hearing because of the game sound.
Yeah.
There's a show on Netflix called Kantaro, the Sweet Tooth Salaryman, and it's actually really funny. It is sort
I've
of
heard
like
good
what,
things, yeah.
what if there was a dramatized version of Guy Fieri's like eating at random restaurants, but instead it was a Japanese man taking his workday to go eat at sweet shops, and they showcase like real places, even though the drama of the show is fictionalized. And I really enjoyed it, and like watched it with friends, and we actually went to a few of the different places to try out the desserts featured in the show, and there were some pretty cool different things. We tried anmitsu, and there was a place that had what's it called? God, I'm like not focusing on this fight, and I should be. Oh, it was matcha Bavarian cream. Was really good with red beans and
Oh yeah,
cream as well.
I've had similar things to that. It's pretty good. Like when I was in Kyoto this past time, I was on a trip. Like my whole thing I wanted to do was get like traditional sweets. I got a lot of candied beans. I love them.
But it was also hard to find places that just sold them. Like we definitely spent a while one night wandering around until we finally found a beard papa because we were like craving some dessert. So maybe we were just in the wrong area.
Yeah, it definitely like I think to like amend one of my statements, I think touristy cities still have a lot of like that footprint.
Yeah. We stayed in Shimbashi, which is not really well known for being a touristy location to stay. It's kind of where like people go hang out after work. So there's a lot of good restaurants and stuff there, and a lot of skeevy looking bars, but and karaoke and stuff. But not
I mean,
so much in the dessert.
I stayed in Shinjuku, so
Oh yeah.
so I gotcha. I will say that the thing to me that's like insidious about the U.S. versus other cities with regard to sugar is like not really like there's definitely sweets in other parts of the world, and like lots of things that have sugar as an ingredient. But as Sparkle alluded to, it's the presence of sugar in so many things that aren't themselves like sweets.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I think it's
And
both,
yeah.
but I agree.
Right, but I mean, like, I think of something like soda. Like, soda doesn't register as, like, candy to me, even though it is, like, to a ridiculous degree, right?
Yeah, I mean, soda, like, sugared soda is, like, the...
It's ridiculous. Like, I often forget just how bad it is, and then I look at a nutrition label.
that you can legally put in your body. That is considered food. That is considered food.
It's among them, right? Like it doesn't, like, you know, there are definitely things that
Hey!
That are
Well,
not
that's
good,
all we
right?
have time
But-
for today. Thanks for joining us on.
Like, you could legally put Smelter Demon in your body, and it's not good for you.
I said food.
I don't know. That fight was
God.
some pretty good food to me.
Yeah.
That's your... Can you, Niko, can you die a couple times?
Oh, we're
Listen,
we're
we've
gonna go-
already done that the last 2 or 3 episodes in a row. So
I know, but
I'll-
Peregrine's a little bit too vivacious.
We gotta see
we're
what-
gonna-
what
we're gonna
amazing
use
reward
the last,
awaits us.
Smelter Wedge, and then we're gonna go to the third DLC and have ourselves a delightful time.
Have ourselves a
Pharaoh's
merry
Mask.
little Christmas.
Ooh, those aren't good stats.
Pharaohs. Oh, not Oh.
Oh.
Is this what Pharaohs looks like?
Theoretically, or at least that's his mask. The thing it does is permanently gives you the You know, in Iron Keep, there's like the little pools of water you can use to like negate a bit of fire damage. This thing just gives that to you sort of permanently. So it's kind of neat, but this is so late in the game that like...
It's one of those things where it's like, you're getting it for a New Game Plus run or something.
Wait, hold on. The description is just like, the majority of Pharos' creations are perplexing to reasoned men, and this mask is no exception. Like, it's a perpetually crying mask. How is that perplexing?
Why would you make this?
What are you sad about?
It's Dark Souls 2!
He's got all those doors. Maybe he's sad about forgetting which doors are the useful ones?
People keep putting lockstones in his mouth. Nothing? Okay.
It's like Pharos discovered a way to break the laws of like perpetual motion and use them to make a mask that never doesn't cry, and that's worthy
emo
of my
hell.
millennial respect.
Pharos watched so many AMVs that he just had to cry all the time.
Pharos decided to just marathon Evangelion all in one weekend, and you know, it puts you in a place.
Let's put our perfectly normal Q-tip hat back on and get moving.
Well, I was going to ask, is there any like downside to putting on the crowns? Does that cause something bad to happen? Because I kind of want to see.
Nope. No.
Okay.
It's just maybe not
just
the
a
most
crown.
fashionable.
Yeah, it's just, you know, being a member of the aristocracy, or the monarchy. Both of those things
Yeah,
are
fuck
bad.
that.
So.
Now there's a helm.
Helm, yeah.
Helm, man.
Yep, filled with mayonnaise.
That's what this
All right.
hat is.
That's what's in
What
the
if this
Q-tip
hat-
head.
The Q-tip hat is just like it's a mayonnaise prison for your head.
There's a series of words I never expected to hear in that order.
What if you could just wear a jar of mayonnaise? Like, what if you just had like a helmet-sized jar of Hellmann's? This is a mukbang video somewhere. I'm just...
Feather out and go to the...
I think we're right next to the...
Hold on.
yeah.
I have a cursed Google search to make.
We want to go to the...
Well, that was the last we
like-
ever heard of Peregrine.
No, we're not quite done yet.
Oh, I'm going to go spend these souls.
Thing. We went to all the effort to get the final smelter wedge.
I know.
Might as well
I'm
go
going
use
to
it.
level up twice first, though. I'm not going to fuck around in there with 75k.
I mean, do we really care at this point?
Yes.
I care.
Okay.
What are the dimensions? What are the dimensions on this? I need measurements. I want to know if the diameter is enough.
The diameter of what?
Allow me to present you with a very large jar.
I'm glad the embed did not work for that.
I will always until hope has.
I'm sad that this pack, as per this customer's question, does this come with 4 gallons? The answer is the box has 4 1-gallon jars. But just imagine if it had 1 4-gallon jar.
I mean, like at that point, you're talking about restaurant supply, right? Like,
Well, that's what I was trying to find. Admittedly, like I wanted to find the bucket.
yeah, I like when I was watching
Extra
that
heavy?
100-pound peanut butter and jelly video a couple weeks ago. They
This
had
kind
a
of-
bucket of peanut butter.
Oh,
Damn
this is
it.
sorry. The jar isn't extra heavy.
No, I
didn't
get it.
realize that this is the.
I get it.
No.
I get it. It hurts. I'm in pain. The jar is extra heavy. This is a 128-ounce jar. Of
Oh,
mayonnaise.
this is thicker mayonnaise.
No, but it's
this
also
is
a
like
giant thing. Of
it's a 1-gallon jar, but I misread this because I thought it was like the extra heavy was the
Here-
size. No, the extra heavy is the
Here
product.
is
Extra-
what images
It says-
of very large jars makes me think of forever and always, and that includes the mayonnaise jar.
Wait, okay, so I just need to read 2 about the product's bullet points. Number 1, going in reverse order from
Oh,
redundant
real
to
quick,
terrible.
for people
So-
that are watching, the image that I pasted that I said I was thinking of, it is a like the largest bucket of cheese balls, like little cheese poof snacks, sitting on a beach in the sunset with a wave romantically rolling up onto the shore. You may continue, Mo.
Yeah, so packaged in a resealable container for freshness and easy access. It's a motherfucking screw top.
Well, yeah.
Like, it's literally a jar. Like, that's a bullet. Like, you get 128 ounce thing of mayonnaise.
What are they
puncture
supposed
it like a
to?
fucking Capri Sun.
What are they supposed to market it on?
How about the extra
Oh my God.
viscous texture, ideal for binding and browning? That's what
I've
I'm
done
looking
it.
for, is the extra curdy.
Bring out the best.
Everybody loves playing the hurdy-curdy, so...
Any
It
guesses
says-
on the
it says-
size of this lad?
Hellman's extra. I have one more thing. Hellman's extra heavy mayonnaise made with cage-free eggs. Proper ingredient selection is the first step towards creating a delicious, memorable dish, which seems like a bold claim on an improper ingredients Amazon page. The asterisk contains at least 50% cage-free eggs, which, if you're coming at this from an animal cruelty perspective, isn't really cutting it.
Well, that's because they keep the animals half in the cage and half out. So it's like
They're coming out of their
is-
cage and they're feeling just fine.
The second thing is, at the bottom of this paragraph, it says, "What's in the box?" Hellman's extra heavy mayonnaise for restaurants, 1 gallon. And I can't not read that in the Brad Pitt "What's in the box" voice.
In their defense, the what's in the box thing is on every Amazon item listing.
I know, but this
also,
is the only
I have
one
the
that's...
exact same problem.
This is the only one that's ever given me the problem. Because it's like, what's in the box? And then it's just extra heavy mayonnaise. And Kevin Spacey laughs maniacally. Spoilers for like a 24-year-old movie.
I have
Also, side
found.
note, fuck Kevin Spacey.
Yes,
Um,
also that, true.
Oh my God, I love the name of this one, so this is also gonna get a link, but it's not.
that helmet just went spinning across the floor. I don't know if you saw that. That was really good.
Why did they
Go ahead.
turn the physics off on the bodies?
No, 4 gallons.
So you. This is the biggest one.
Pack of 1. Okay, good. I'm glad.
The UK one I appreciated because it's in liters.
Wait,
but 10 liters is 2.6 gallons.
Is the 30 pounds pail smaller than the gallon?
I do not know the density of mayonnaise,
Same.
so I would not be able to say.
Why is
But
Be
this-
the Grill Master? No one has put mayonnaise on a grill and burn your house down. What?
Wait.
I really like this helmet slowly
gotta lube
rolling
up the grill.
along on the ground as Mo yells about mayonnaise.
You don't want to put food on an unoiled grill.
But yeah, so now we have Nadalia's soul. The description is pretty cool. We can turn it into a pyromancy, but we don't really give a shit. We're done. Hooray.
We're
Congrats. It's time to
Okay,
go
so
to,
the one you linked is the same as the one I linked. They both weigh 31 point something pounds. I'm guessing it's 30 pounds of
Wait, you linked
emulsion.
one?
I don't know
And then-
why, but that last image looks like it's just a bucket of sulfur. Like it's got like a weird powder to it.
Well,
I'd
it's got
rather
the
eat
it's
it in
dehydrated
that
bagged.
mayonnaise.
situation.
I think it's just like there's a secondary bag to contain
The curse.
in case you need to like lift it up and just like slice off the corner so you can pipe it into like a heavy duty piece of industrial equipment, you know?
This is disgusting.
You know where we going, Nico?
It's on the way to Dranglake Castle.
Yes, that is correct. Over on the
Want to
right.
go to
Yep.
here?
The second one. Yes.
Oh, there's no reviews on this one. Oh, you said you were looking at the Kraft mayonnaise 30 pounds pail extra heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Kraft mayonnaise
Wait, hold
is
on, hold on.
literal
All
dog
this
shit.
review.
So
I'm gonna do some investigative journalism. They're the same size. You're correct.
Oh, it's these friends. Come on, there we
Oh,
go.
We got the run.
4
yes.
gallons. Oh my god. 4 gallons of mayonnaise is 30 pounds.
Wow.
What is the density of mayonnaise? 4 gallons, 30 pounds.
What is the destiny?
1 to
of
4.
mayonnaise?
Easy. That's how densities
So that's
work.
15,
I know.
15.14 liters.
Isn't a liter a quarter of a gallon?
No, those aren't even the same unit system.
But they sort of map.
Hold on.
Well, what?
I'm getting
One
A liter is
distracting.
basically no. Hold on. A liter
No.
is basically a quart.
one
It's like
gallon is
within-
2.2
it's like-
liters, Mo.
How much is a liter?
It's 100. It's 1,000 mils.
No, in ounces. I don't care about mils.
You have Google.
It's not-
You have Google.
Yeah, but you're a science person, so I'm asking you.
Yeah,
You're
which
fast.
means I don't know what the fuck any of these imperial units
How
mean.
much is a liter in ounces?
It's been a
33.
Pretty...
Okay, so a quart. I think I
13.62.
may be wrong about how much a gallon is. A liter is 33.8 fluid U.S. ounces. A quart is 32 fluid ounces even. So I was pretty close on the ounces. Let's see how I am on the gallons.
It's been a
Yes.
pretty humid summer day here in Chicago. So welcome to a real ass fucking ice level.
Oh.
It's
And-
no problem.
I would just like to say while you're standing in this Mayo field, I was right. One
dare
liquid
you.
U.S. gallon is equal to 128 U.S. liquid fluid ounces. So 4 liters is only 8 ounces, less than 8 ounces more than a gallon. So
8 ounces is a lot, Mo.
not in relative to a gallon.
It's a cup. It's a whole cup.
It's 8 ounces. Oh, so you're so versatile
So-
with
so in
U.S.
4
measurements now
gallons-
when you're trying to prove a point.
In 4 gallons.
No.
That means you're off by a quart.
Yeah, but
I'm just
relative
really
to like a
upset that-
kiddie pool full of mayonnaise.
I'm just
A
really
quart
upset
isn't
that Mo
moving the-
referred to this beautiful snowy vista as a field of mayonnaise when there are toxic goop swamps in this game, in all of these games.
Well,
But
we're
those
not
are
there right
ranch.
now.
We've established in the fiction that Harvest Valley is ranch.
Oh, Harvest
This-
Valley is definitely ranch, but some of the places in these games, that's mayonnaise that's been out for a while.
Toxic
Please.
goop is ranch dressing because it
This-
has mayonnaise in it.
I'm
that
pretty
is
sure the
made
ground
worse.
in this zone is actually frozen Smirnoff ice.
That is a very difficult thing to do.
There's
That would be
magic
very
in this
cold.
universe.
Yep.
That would be very, very
I'm gonna
cold.
real quick. I'm gonna like reload back in so that way my messages will show up. Because I'm
Sure.
currently
Yes.
disconnected.
Oh
so.
yeah, that makes sense.
But so while this curse convo has been happening, I have confirmed that the density of mayonnaise is less than the density of water. So this bucket, in theory, should float.
Okay, so I was off by 6%.
I'll try to keep that in mind the next time I'm
Wait, but
clinging
the
to
bucket
something for
itself
life
is not
after an
is
ocean
less
liner
is
goes
more
down.
dense than water though.
What's the density of polypropylene?
More than water. Oh shit!
It did a big scream.
Correction. It is not.
It is.
Although I guess it's high density polyethylene probably.
Hey Mo, the old chaos hungers still. Maybe
It's still
we
less
should
dense than water.
Maybe we should get
Niko.
old chaos
Okay,
some
all right.
delicious cheese puffs.
You come into my house.
No, we came into Elium Lois. Elium Lois? I forget.
All right.
Uh,
Well,
Anyways,
Snowy
when we-
Londo.
yeah. Let's go this way.
Snow Norlando.
Hello.
Anne or lawn snow.
And
Are you here to welcome me?
damn it! God damn it! I'm so annoyed. Can you just walk off a building really quick, please?
So, when I was talking about the silly dual rapier build that I used to platinum the game, the rapier that these fellows are carrying is one of the two that I used. I used a regular one and then theirs. Because theirs is longer than a normal one. So I had like my extra reach rapier and my normal fuck you up rapier. And I would just do dual pokes, and everything would die way too quickly.
Just send a message to the chat.
I mean, worth it. You know what? I'm here to spread the truth about
Densities of
about
various
densities.
plastics.
And also of mayonnaise.
Peregrine, what's heavier?
Now,
a pound
God,
of
now I
feathers
really-
or a pound of nails?
There's something incredibly counterintuitive to like this 4-gallon tub of mayonnaise floating in a bathtub, but now I want to see it.
You've never been to a country fair.
It's true, actually. I have not.
That's what I'll say
Well,
about
I
that.
did have county fairs growing up, but
County, that's what I meant. Or country.
I mean,
don't know,
you
state
know,
fair.
I wasn't
guess
gonna-
State fair is what I meant.
I wasn't gonna correct Mr. Big City living here. But
No.
you know, it shows.
Enemy ahead, huh? seems to not be doing anything. Let's see what happens if I walk away.
Only do that if you want to destroy its
Got
sweater.
that golden fruit balm to keep your lips from getting chapped in this dry, icy hellscape.
I have I got some lip chapstick, some lip balm in Japan. A friend picks them up for me, and I believe the like literal translation of the characters on it is "surpass winter," which is great.
Well, that's what we're here to do in Crown of the Ivory King. So, we'll see how that goes.
Also, I
Oh,
like
did we
really
read
want to
the-
figure out how to get more because it's amazing.
I don't
It's
think
just the
we
best lip
read
balm ever.
the like big stone tablets on the way in. Should we read
Oh,
those
we
at some point,
didn't.
or is it not worth bothering?
If I remember correctly, they say something to the effect of the secrets of the Clow were all a mystery. Until that mighty book was opened, the power was set free.
I can just look up what they say.
What I just told you.
I think I'm.
They're
gonna
all just Mr.
choose to
Freeze
believe
puns.
Other sources.
Cool party.
Huh. I get it.
Ratchet
Oh, yeah,
head.
so I watched John
these
Wick
messages
2
really
today.
want me to kill these things. Yeah. How was
do you
that?
find that movie if everyone's seen it?
I have not, but
Oh,
I
Peregrine.
roughly know. Well, I mean, Keanu Reeves shows up to ice a bunch of dudes, right? Like that's John Wick. That's
But
my
like, this is the
understanding.
one that introduces the lore of the John Wick universe.
Okay, like, is there any celestial presence in John Wick 2?
Unfortunately, no.
Besides John Wick?
Then I don't really care about
Besides John
I
Wick.
the plots of mere mortal men interest me not.
We're not. Well, that's good because you're not watching one.
Well, I know that John Wick is like a servant from the Fate franchise at this point, but like
I don't know what that means, and I think I think you're underplaying John.
I think it fits pretty damn well. Shout out to all of the Fate fans watching. I understand your pain. I'm so sorry we're
shout-outs to
trapped in
all
this hell
the
together.
Peregrines watching.
Well, if there are cool tablets in the Shrine of Winter for us to read, whatever is on them is so unimportant that nobody's bothered to write it down anywhere that I can Google and
A,
2
John
minutes
Wick
of
is not
trying.
human. B, there is a reading of John Wick that does take it into the celestial body zone because it exists
Excuse
outside
me?
of reality. And all the currency is outside of reality. All the interactions are outside of reality.
Wait, what currency does it use?
Angel coin?
weird gold coins.
Yeah.
Like Mario.
Weird gold coins, yeah.
Whoa, wait. What if John Wick 2 exists in the Mushroom Kingdom?
I mean, we're pretty sure that it's not New
I'm
Donk
pretty
City,
sure it exists in New
but
Donk
there's-
City,
Yeah,
actually.
there's no reason it couldn't be.
John Wick could exist in New Donk City. It would be a grim turn for Rosalina, but that's the mayor, right? I'm not messing with the Mario lore.
Pauline.
Pauline.
Yep.
Rosalina is the galaxy. Rosalina is the celestial body of the Mario franchise.
Well, what will happen is that Rosalina will kill Pauline, become the mayor, and then John Wick will have to avenge something. And
This has gotten very grim.
I know. That's what I watched 2 John Wick movies in the last 2 days. So.
Well, this
They're good
is
movies.
the edgy American reboot of.
Yeah. I had seen the first
just-
one before. I think the second one is drastically better than the first one.
Really?
Oh, that is not the common.
Yeah,
common
I've
reaction.
generally heard the
I think the first one is like a good action movie that is like.
These are
It's
these
doing
are on
the
Netflix,
like.
right?
It's doing
no.
the like. The first John Wick
well.
is like. I'm trying to think. Okay. Have you ever seen the Pusher movies by Nicholas Refn? Like the
Sure have.
What? No.
the pre-drive stuff?
Yep.
Okay. So what I would
Oh,
say is
thought I
that
had
John
it.
Wick 1 feels like a really good Pusher movie. John Wick 2 feels like a fucking John Wick movie. Like they made good on the promise of what John Wick was meant to be. It just took them like a whole movie to get there.
Well, that's a interesting perspective because for my own part, I don't have a strong preference. If I had to pick just one and the other was burned from existence,
Yeah.
I would take the first one, but it's a very mild preference. But the thing for me is that the first John Wick movie was never intended to be like this cult hit or anything. It was just
Usually they're not.
It was just this like
You're
cool
trying not
action-
to describe a Pusher movie right now.
No, it's a cool action movie put together by some people who had been working in the movie industry doing stunt coordination and that kind of thing. And it mostly got made because they managed to talk Keanu Reeves into doing it.
Yeah.
But so the first movie leaves a bunch of gaps in kind of like the quote-unquote world building because the movie's not really about that stuff. It's about John Wick being very upset at the people what hurt his dog.
Yeah.
And the reason most people don't like the second one quite as much is because it has the messy and unenviable task of having to be another John Wick movie that's just as cool as the first one, or at least try to be that. I think it pretty much succeeds. But B, more importantly, it can't just leave things on their own the way the first movie did. It has to... Unlike the first movie, John Wick 2 is operating with the assumption that there will be a John Wick 3.
Yes.
And
so I would
choices
think
choices they made as a result of that are kind of why people don't like it as
so
much.
I think it's like I have a major problem with like middle books and trilogies. Like I don't
think this is going to be a trilogy. They're going to keep making them until Keanu Reeves is bored of doing them.
We will get to that. Because you could take John Wick in some interesting directions.
All I will say to you about 3 until you've seen it is that it is not the conclusion of a trilogy.
Fair. But my point is that I think that probably at some point it was. And then it blew the roof off of everything. Let me rephrase. I think that John Wick 2 was made as the middle movie as a middle movie in a series, let's call it. And as a middle movie in a series, it's incredible, I feel like.
I don't think it was meant to be the middle.
What?
There's... Maybe I'm getting sort of hung up on the particulars of how, like, fractions work, but, they were pretty certain they were going to make a third one. They were not trying to set up a trilogy. It's not the middle part of a story. They didn't have any of it planned.
Okay, well, then let me rephrase.
And they've said they didn't have any of it planned like that, other than they were pretty sure there was going to be a next one.
Let me rephrase my take, then. In that case, it works as an incredible... So the reason I say like middle trilogy or middle book, middle movie type of thing is that it doesn't fall into the trap that a lot of middle parts of a thing do, and I didn't realize that they had planned for it to be longer. So in that case, I would say that it is like an incredible kind of like stealth reboot almost of like, hey, we gestured at all this stuff in John Wick 1, but like here it is, and now you're like, it's basically like all like, it had so much of like Hitman DNA in it, like Hitman 2016 DNA, the second one versus the first one, in terms of just like the extremely garish places he found himself doing what he needed to do. I'm trying to avoid spoilers, because I do think there are some legitimate like wow moments in this movie when you're like, oh, they're going there, and I was just blown away by the way that they kind of went from a very bare bones, well executed action movie that I think is like generates a lot of cheap heat to which I hold against it, to a larger lore-filled thing that like I'm excited to know. I care about more characters in the John Wick universe than just John Wick at this point, and I think that's cool, and not something I would have expected before watching John Wick 2.
Yeah, I think for the people that don't like 2 as much, it's that they were happier having the questions unanswered, and one of the problems with having to set up, making more of these movies is you need to make some
but the
kind
answers
of plot
are good.
Engine for
Yeah, I agree. All the
that's
answers.
the thing is like
that's the question, is how long can they keep that going before diminishing marginal returns set in?
I mean, The Wire ended
I know
in season
people
4,
that
so,
reacted.
I
know that people
you just
reacted.
cut it where you need to.
I know a bunch of people reacted to 2 with like, yeah, the action scenes were still good, but I kind of liked the way that 1 left more to the imagination, and there was kind of, I feel like, not significantly, but a bit more of that reaction to the third one, which the
I don't
third
know,
one
like
is
I
also
actually
excellent.
I disagree with that because I feel like 1 doesn't really try and explore even that much of this world, and it just kind of sets up a fairly basic revenge
it's not
plot.
interested in that. They're not.
That's kind of why I
There's no
compared
room
it to like
for
a
it. There's
Nicholas
no
Refn
room for
movie.
it in the first movie.
And I don't.
So and as it starts to fill in the gaps in what we know about the world, it only poses more questions in a way that I think is really interesting, rather than a version where we were left without those questions in the first place.
Wow, rude.
And also, I think that it's something it does, like, it's one of the only movies I'm excited. I can't actually think of a movie like this since, since I've been an adult, basically. When a new character is introduced, maybe Mission Impossibles, but Mission Impossibles are so corny just because they're Mission Impossible. Like, being corny is part of what they are, in a way that being like gauche is part of what John Wick is, I think. But like when someone is like when there's like a bartender who's polishing a glass and his back's to you, like in John Wick 2, I was like legitimately excited to see who turned around. Like I didn't love the scene due to the way it fetishized guns, but Peter Serafinowicz's performance in the scene that I'm talking about was
the wine tasting
had me like cackling. Yeah,
yeah.
I
that
was
a
like,
great scene.
he was so good, and like it's a movie series that like has the clout to like have guys come in for like, or not guys, people come in for like a week, play a really fun role, and like even Lawrence Fishburne's part of the movie, like, and I think that he's gonna be back. But
he is in the third one, yes.
They were having so much fun. It was incredible. I loved it.
Yeah.
They're really good movies.
I would say that
I'm excited for
I think that
another one.
I would say that I think that one is more quotable in the way that like you might think of like one of those sort of like very high action but otherwise not like doing anything super interesting movies might be. And I didn't remember a whole lot of 2 when I went, like we decided to go and watch 2 at my friend's house immediately before going and watching 3 when it came out. And I'm really glad I did, because that movie is a lot better than I remembered it being upon first watch. And I think that like there were a lot of interesting things. Like I was watching and I was like, oh yeah, this is the scene where X happens. And I was like, I had forgotten that all that stuff happened in 2, because I did have this like this association of like all of the things that I liked about 1. But for some reason those things didn't stick with me for 2 when I watched it in the theater. And so that's where I think that like when I hear about a potentially large number of people being like kind of on 2, I think that may be related to my initial like watch as well, where I like it just wasn't as memorable, even if I took away a lot in terms of the world building.
It had a hard act to follow in terms of like John Wick 1 came out of nowhere, and
I mean, like nobody went to see John Wick 1 in the theaters.
Yeah.
It took off on like word of mouth and streaming.
Yeah.
I should also
it also
mention
came out when Keanu's career wasn't like a big deal like it is now.
Yeah.
Well, that's off the back of John Wick.
I think that
Right.
John Wick 2 was more quotable for me. Like maybe not more quotable, but the thing that I remember between either of them was my favorite
pencil.
My favorite line was the professional courtesy like bit that they did, and
the pencil line in 2 is a callback to a pencil line in 1.
Yeah.
Like 2 doesn't get credit for that.
Yeah.
I was quoting 1, and that's the thing is like I think there are more one-liners that stuck with me from 1.
And there's nobody is as good as Alfie Allen is so good in 1. Like he's really, really good in that movie.
I really like Ian McShane in those movies.
That's his name. I couldn't remember his name today. I was talking about it with the people I watched it with, and I just could not remember that guy.
Yeah.
I was like
Very
doing an
rude.
Ian McShane impression, and was just like the guy with the hair, who's like
The guy with the hair. Okay.
who's like excommunicado.
Oh, Becky?
No.
So are you caught up on push-ups, Peregrine? Because there were like
I am.
Okay.
I think I am.
The other thing I really liked
I
about
definitely
2
started swiping during all this convo because I like have little to contribute because I haven't seen any of these movies. But I've been trying to like catch up on the Estes count to get a frame of reference.
This is the last thing I'll say, because we I don't want to talk about something Peregrine hasn't seen for
No, that's fine. Listen,
so long.
you don't.
But
Well, we'll talk about Evangelion next, so that way Mo can...
I was gonna be like, I've spent enough time talking about aphids here that I am not gonna take it personally if y'all want to just talk about
Sarah's
something cool.
and...
But the thing,
yeah, like literally anytime I talk about anything, it's
the thing I was gonna say is I think we get a lot of in 2 we learn the like John Wick is like the stealthiest blunt instrument ever. He gets in and then he's just like, "Hey, I'm in your small
nightclub where
area
you're
with
playing
a
Marilyn
sledgehammer."
Manson in 2018.
Yeah. But like versus like but he can't play the game. Like he's bad at predicting people's responses on a social level. He's just really good at dealing with his own miscalculations or like headstrongness, which I think is an interesting, like, they're very deliberate about that. Like in 2 he makes a bunch of just like impatient and like just like dingusy moves, but he can because he's John Wick, and he's like just makes the body count go up a little higher, and that's an interesting guy to follow as things get more and more, complex.
The kind of last thing I have to say, which, well, 2 things. One, to be clear, when I am presenting criticisms of 2 or 3 or even 1, like, I don't...
Oh, I know.
I'm not playing devil's advocate in the sense of presenting a position I don't believe just to, like, have the argument. I'm saying, like, here are some reactions that are not the ones that I have had.
Oh, yeah, no, I appreciate it, because I specifically don't... I try not to read discourse about stuff. So, like, if we're having a conversation about a certain thing, being able to be like, hey, these are, like, a handful of takes about that thing, and then me being able to respond to them is, like, in a way, the best case scenario, because I don't have to deal with the
the other thing is that one of the other more personal associations I have with John Wick 2 is that that was the movie I was seeing when you, Mo, DM'd me and asked me if I would like to be a mod on the Waypoint Discord.
Oh, jeez, really?
in early 2017.
That's
oh my
hilarious.
God.
That timeline tracks.
It was me and Slime Siren, I think, were both that night, because it was you and Nora. And then there was something happening or other, and I was like, yes, I guess, except I was on my way from the movie theater to my apartment to stop for like 20 minutes before going out, so I was sort of like, yes, but also I'm not going to really be around until tomorrow.
That's hilarious, yeah. You gotta just... We needed help. And y'all we didn't make bad choices, is what I would say.
Well, we did end up here talking about enormous jars of mayonnaise.
Yep, and that's exactly how everything in life led to this moment. I will also add that a thing that I really appreciate about the John Wick cinematic universe is how much it seems that their casting is willing to actually cast people from marginalized backgrounds. John Wick 3 actually like introduced a new character who's played by a non-binary actor, or I don't know if actrix or actor X or whatever would be like a more appropriate term there. But
I think it's just actor.
Actor, and so like that was really cool to see, and then like various people of color. There's an actor whose name I don't remember, but is an Indonesian stunt performer and actor who was in the Raid movie. If you've ever seen that, that is an incredible movie for like fight choreography. And so it was cool to see him show up in John Wick 3 as well.
Asia Kate Dillon is the non-binary actor.
Yep, that's correct.
And I'm looking for the other person.
So yeah, so are you going to watch 3 soon? I don't know if it's still in theater, but like I guess we wait for it to be out.
3 is definitely not in theaters. I don't
What did you say, Mo?
It might be. It might still be in theaters in New York. Stuff hangs out for a while. But I'm probably not going to watch it till winter time because I watched it with my fiance. I watched John Wick 1. We rewatched it last night with my fiance's parents, and then they went and did my fiance and her mom went and did some stuff, and we just hung out and watched John Wick 2. We were like captivated, and we agreed we're gonna wait till the holidays to watch John Wick 3 together.
Okay.
Although
I hope you enjoy it.
Temptation to sneak it in is strong, but I'm not gonna do it. Because then John Wick 4 will be out in like 2 months probably. From then.
I'm really
4
not
is
sure.
going to be the summer of 2021.
Oh wow!
If I'm remembering right. Like they've already given like a tentative release window for
cool.
it.
I will be right back.
Why?
Oh, that scream.
I don't know. Like it just I keep seeing messages saying that you're supposed to kill these creatures, and they appear to just be doing nothing. And
It's
so I
very
wasn't sure if it was
rude.
one of those. I wasn't sure if it was one of those things where like you have to kill those creatures in order to like make the world state change in some meaningful way. So it seems that is not the case, as some of them have respawned. And
To be fair, when I played this and dipped in, I think I just missed like a lot of these passages, so I don't think I've ever seen even this opening like area that you're currently in.
I feel like you almost certainly went left at that beginning fork, and then maybe
Oh, I definitely
and then maybe
did.
pieced out.
Well, no, but I mean, I also went the other way that Niko went, and then, like, for some reason, I don't know where I missed this particular turn. Because I got to, like, I think a bridge that was out, and then I, like, never found a path from there.
Speaking of, let's maybe go left this time.
oh, but I've got 23,000 souls over there. Okay.
You'll
I keep going that way
get
because
the-
I want to try and make progress in a direction rather than fan out. but-
Well, that stuff will still be there, and 23k is nothing to us, so. Well.
Wait. You weren't...
Okay.
No, that's not... We...
Party time.
Listen, I've got a feather. One without the sign. Uh-oh. I don't like the sound of that.
Wait. What is the... I can't sign is the lack of a sign?
It's Ava, the king's
heard-
pet.
Dragon? Is it invisible? I think it's invisible. I'm gonna piece. Oh, I got hit.
I
I
wanted
can
us
see
to
it.
come over here to get the initial go back. I didn't.
Oh no!
Got that gravitas.
God. Oh, my God.
I could barely see it for a second there.
I didn't think you would actually go through the fog gate, though.
Well, you told me to go left. Well, listen, don't tell me to do things if you don't want me to do them.
Wow.
Maybe
I
let me
didn't tell you to
explore
go
for myself.
Through the fog gate.
Thanks, Shinji.
Did not tell Niko to get in the boss arena. Anyway, that's Ava, the king's pet, and whoever's voice that is, I don't know.
For some reason, it makes me think of Neverending Story.
Ava! You have to move, Ava! You can't stay here, Ava, no!
Well, there's no swamp in this zone, fortunately. There are other things.
That doesn't sound ominous at all.
Bonk.
I can do the overhand too. Good night. So what else has everyone been up to lately? Even though it hasn't been a full week since our last recording, don't tell anyone.
I don't know. Other than Judgment, I've been playing the Switch port of an indie title called Mario Maker.
I've heard of that.
Oh, I'm pretty sure that's called Mario Maker.
Well, we'll have to ask Mo when Mo gets back.
We had a 3-1 consensus.
That was a joke.
And now you're gonna reopen this?
Have you not heard of sarcasm before?
Niko's right. You're all
Is
wrong.
that a
Niko's
new
right.
kind of mayo bucket? I don't.
Mayo Rio? I don't think that works.
No, that's...
No.
Soda's on mine is over. We're on a new
I don't know
season
where I
now.
made this joke, but I definitely posted Mario Nays somewhere recently.
Wait, is the Mabu Reo ship called Mayo?
I don't think so.
It is now, baby.
Well, I'll let you tell social media about that one. So
Mayo's in his bucket. All's right with the world. But yeah, Mario Maker 2 is something I think I might start playing tonight. I placed an order for a stylus that disappeared, but I've gotten the replacement, and it should be arriving Sunday, and I might just, get my Mario... What is the Mario World equivalent of toes? I'm gonna get those wet.
What?
Get my toes wet.
Get your toes
But,
wet?
Mario doesn't have toes, so what are the toes?
Mario
of
does have
Mushroom Kingdom?
toes.
Is it like mycelia? Hyphy? I guess it's like, it might be hyphy?
No, that's a kind of rap music.
No, it is.
What are
Don't
you
listen. I'm
talking
from
about?
hyphy is the plural of this.
Yeah, I love Bay Area rap.
Whatever. I don't get science. What?
There's
I was gonna say I haven't completely finished the
listen. There's Wikipedia has the disambiguation link. All right.
I haven't finished every single level that's in the Mario Maker 2 story mode, but I did do enough of them to get the credits today. I'm not sure if I button mashed through it or if I just didn't carefully talk to all of the NPCs, but I only remember one bit of the anti-union stuff that I've seen screenshots of showing up for me. And I'm pretty sure I'm 98% certain that that's because I just didn't really talk to anyone in that game.
I mean, that's my
Did you-
strategy with coworkers. So
Yeah.
Did you play the Wyatt route or the Fergus route?
Well, in this one, there's a yellow toad that's taking a nap for most of the game. There's a blue
That's
toad. There is the undog, who caused the whole problem in the first place, and there is my favorite character, who I regret not taking video footage of, called Mr. Eraser, who his body is the kind of extensible eraser for pencil drawings, where there's a plastic shell and then a little switch on the front, and or slider, and you kind of push the slider and it makes more of the eraser come out. Except his eyes are on the eraser that's sticking out of his body, which is the plastic shell. And he erases things.
Is it his body or is it a tube top?
No, it's definitely his body, or at least a shell like a turtle has. But he's not a Koopa.
carapace.
It might be a carapace.
It's a carrot. Yeah. It's definitely a
But
carrot. Because if it's not a Koopa, then it's...
Here's the upsetting part, though. So he's got kind of big googly eyes on the tip of the eraser part of him. But when he erases things for you, he uses his head to do that, and then his head is gone, and then he falls over and appears to be dead for a moment, but then gets back up. and more eraser comes out of his body and eyes pop back out of it. It's incredibly upsetting. And I feel like the political missteps of the writing in that game have completely overshadowed how messed up Mr. Eraser is.
Listen, modern capitalism is all about working yourself to the point of destruction, and then having to put on a face the next day as though none of it happened.
He doesn't get paid. You do jobs for him. Not a lot of them. He only has like 2 or 3 levels, but
wait, if he gets paid in your labor.
Yeah, I mean he doesn't get paid in currency. You exchange.
God.
You do
Does
him
he get
a
paid
favor
in
and
John
he
Wick
does
coins?
you a favor.
Yeah, I was just gonna say he gets paid in Mushroom Kingdom coin.
Well,
Mush
you
coin.
spend several thousand Mushroom Kingdom coins rebuilding the castle, so. Anyway, yeah, the story levels are good. Don't get that game expecting like a normal Mario single-player experience, because the levels are not that. The levels are kind of more intended to like teach you all the different things the editor can do and show you like some cool ideas for levels that you could use as like the basis of your own. And I think it's really good at that.
So it's like Kingdom Hearts in that all of the areas just exists for you to build your gummy ship.
Unless there is something very surprising waiting for me in the 15 or so levels I have left, Riku has not and will not show up.
Can we, just for 1 second, go back to John Wick for 1 second?
Okay.
Because you said something about coins. Can we talk about how trash the John Wick economy is? It's like having your car fully repaired is the same as, like, from being totaled is the same as having 3 drinks at a bar, which is the same as having 3 nights in a hotel, which is the same as, like, it's not granular enough in its
and everyone seems to just accept it and have like pre-agreed upon prices. It's wild.
Yeah, like this custom-made suit is the same price as 3 vodkas. Like, that does not... What? That's not the thing. That's not the way. What? I could not get...
If you are expecting the socio-economic realities of the magical world of assassination that John Wick presents us to make any more sense in the third one than it does in the movie you watched tonight, I have some bad news for you. The good news is that John Wick 3 rules, but it's not going to help you for, the problem you were describing.
Yeah.
I'm sort of upset that the moveset of the enemies with the rapier, they get to do swingy attacks, but if they drop one for us and we pick it up and use it, we don't get to swing it, I'm pretty sure. Or at least I never got to swing it when it was in my left hand and I was power stancing.
It feels like a long way without a bonfire, but I also have been playing kind of sloppy.
We are maybe kind of getting close to one.
There's also some side paths that I need to go back and explore too. How you doing tonight, Peregrine? I feel like I haven't died nearly as much as the last 2
Yeah, no,
weeks.
it's been good. It's the 10 minutes that Mo's trainer suggested between sets, and it's been generally healthy. I made the mistake of, during John Wick discourse, of going on Tinder, and now I'm just sort of like introspectively wondering why I ever did that. So on a similar note, Evangelion has been happening in my life again for the first time in about 10 years, and boy, howdy, is that a show.
It sure is.
I am honestly surprised at how much I think it has like aged, or rather, I have aged into it better. Like, it still has a lot of problems, and I don't want to make light of those, but there's definitely like things that I am reading into it in an interesting way now that I'm like not 14 while watching it, and it's been a better experience for it.
I finally got more. Instead of being 2 episodes into rewatching it, I am now like 4 episodes into rewatching it. And I'm completely caught up on the Waypoint podcasts. It's funny to me how the better parts of it have aged extraordinarily well, and the really awful stuff has gotten like even more awful with age. And so what I feel like was a how to put this, not that there weren't, peaks and valleys in my enjoyment the first time I watched it in like 2001 or 2002, but like it feels way more to me in 2019 as like a series with really high highs and just the most god-awful lows.
There's definitely like, there's one character in particular that I remember everyone like really liked that is just especially now, like the most loathsome piece of shit.
Why do you hate
like,
the penguin?
Don't insinuate that I'm talking shit about Pen Pen. Pen Pen is still like the one unproblematic fave that Evangelion has gifted us with. No, I think it should be obvious to people watching the show which character I mean when.
I think I know which character you're talking
up.
about.
I think
I'm
do.
13 episodes in.
I mean, Austin. It's the same one that like Austin has talked about, like thinking they were cool, like back in 2000 whatever, and just now is like,
oh no,
irreconcilable. And then I am like definitely like inured to a lot of the really bad things of Evangelion because I've just not like distanced myself from I go to anime conventions and I see like the figures and the fan art and stuff. Like that stuff has never stopped since the show aired. So like I'm not surprised that stuff is bad because it always has been, right? And like I think that it really is, as you said, like our tolerance has gone down mercifully, right? And I think it's just more jarring to remember just how bad the official handling of that stuff was initially. But at the same time, there's other things where like I remember Evangelion, and a lot of people do rightly, as a show that hates women, but there are also like genuinely good sequences in which women like talk to each other about work and life and like are incredibly sympathetic characters.
Not so blustery out here.
Anyway, Misato is a real one, is what I'm trying to say.
That doesn't open from here.
God, that's the most cartoon door I've ever seen in a Dark Souls game.
It's got very Lord of the Rings ass like.
I was gonna say it's a Kingdom Hearts door.
Like nonsense on it. Like that's if it was made out of wood, that would be a door you'd see in Rivendell.
It's a dwarf door with elf aesthetic,
Yeah.
It's like the dwarf. It's for the like the like snobby dwarves who took French in high school and got a little too into it.
I had never noticed before the like pose that mimic is frozen in.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, that's a frozen mimic?
Yeah.
What?
You got the arms.
Oh,
you got the teeth.
I completely missed. Yeah, okay, there it is.
And it's
Trying to
making,
I don't have this
someone.
full
it's
screen,
making
so
like Kevin McAllister Home Alone scream face.
that's amazing. That's an amazing detail. I was gonna say this is the area of the game where we initiate second impact.
I remember the frozen mimic, but it's not the like facial expression.
Ah, the frozen mimic, or as I like to call it, every movie Disney's going to make from now on.
Heyo.
Heyo. That's probably not fair to the movies Disney has made since Frozen, which I have heard are good, but also I just do not like Disney, and I'm not going to be shy about that.
Got
Yeah.
him.
Take that box.
Let's see how close.
Take that
John Wick
box.
is. Oh, I could see it at 9. Oh my god. I could see John Wick Parabellum at either. Wait, let me see for tomorrow. Hold on. Sorry.
Ah, we're Mo's making weekend plans.
No, I'm just
live
I'm
on
just looking.
Oh,
Got
what?
the backstab on the ghost. Take that.
I'm sad
Whoa.
they didn't get you. I was waiting for it.
Tap's head 3 times. I'm too good at this game.
I could see it at 9 a.m. Which would be
Breakfast and
a move.
assassination.
Yeah. Which would be a move. Or 10:15 p.m. I am actually
That's
seeing...
pretty much when I see movies, because of how the hours I keep in whatever. That's like on a weekend, if I'm not going out, I will go see a movie
Oh
at
my god.
the time I would go out, and then just end up home way early.
Lost track. Where are you? Oh, right there.
Well, yeah. As usual.
Oh, stop going out of my
Oh,
range.
God.
Damn it.
As usual, the compression on the Discord share keeps them from being visible until much later than I assume it is for you.
They're really not visible for me at all. I'm kind of swinging at air.
Okay.
Oh right, we got a new bonfire. Thank God.
Yeah, the ones in this zone are kind of a bit of a hike from each other. But I feel like it's a bigger zone than the other two DLCs. The other ones have more complex layouts, but in a smaller space. Whereas this is just this whole big giant castle to run around in. And it's mostly outside, it's not like the inside of the castle. Cool.
Oh, you're kidding me. That little tiny sliver of health.
20 minutes to go, and just I guess Peregrine hasn't done enough exercise.
So, speaking of exercise, if you're feeling up to trying, you can totally just hoof it through here.
I mean, I'd rather not.
Well, I guess I probably shouldn't say the thing I was about to say, so never mind. I was maybe going to say more about how this area is
Yeah, I just
structured
got here.
than
Can I
I
please
would want to,
try and
so.
figure this out for myself?
You're doing fine. Just
It
getting
definitely
to,
feels like
just
there's
getting to
something
that
I need to do,
just
but-
getting to that bonfire is significant progress.
No, target this one. Stop. Camera.
Well, stop moving the right stick.
It was no, I wasn't moving it, and it kept turning back to look at the one on
It was
below
probably
me.
clashing into the wall and getting confused with targeting. Just a fun combo of things.
Oh, look at what I found. Oh my god, this is perfect. Look at what I found
Uh-oh.
on the Wikipedia page for hyphy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, what
come
did I see
on. I don't want to look at this rice gerbil.
That's what it is, though. Those are hyphy. It's the, you know, little fuzzies.
Is that how we're
message.
referring to Keek de Sneak now?
God. This... what would eating one of those do to a human?
Probably nothing.
Oh, you could just... Oh, God. Would it taste better?
It would taste bad. Like, well, so clarification, like a classic case where you would get hyphy is like
Leaving-
soy sauce.
Leaving rice out for a week?
Well, but like this, like you do a fungal for you process rice with fungus as part of making sake.
But there's
like, related
tomatoes
products.
and onions in this.
Well, yes.
So I don't know what sake that is.
No,
I'm pretty
it's
sure-
not. But like kombucha, like the mat of
The like
the fun-
SCOBY?
Is there fungus in the SCOBY?
I don't know.
You know what? I've looked under a microscope at a kombucha sample. Like, there's definitely like.
I don't know the science. I've made
Some
kombucha,
kinda-
but I don't know the science behind it. I just don't touch the gross thing.
I'm pretty confident that like white and green molds are usually harmless, or like they're not. Let's see.
Necessarily.
Here. Let's see if I can get some information here.
Don't.
It's really the blue molds that'll get you.
I thought those were the ones in cheese.
Yeah, but it's
No, not the blue
Yeah,
modes.
cheeses.
The
Cheeses
blue
are an example.
modes.
Well, the blue veins in blue cheese are mold.
Yes. Is that so? What are the bad colors of mold?
Black and red, I think.
Nico. The only thing
are
over
not
there
great,
is
but I don't actually know.
a
Like it.
frozen Pharaoh's trap or contraption. So
And there's nothing over there? Okay.
there's the two ghosts. What killed you earlier? But there's not another path that way. There
I
was
should really
another
go
exit
back.
out of that little room, though.
Yeah, I really should kind of like retrace my steps and figure out where I've been and which different side paths I've missed, because otherwise I'm going to forget by next week. So
Well,
I should probably try and do that before
Let's see here.
we wrap up.
so stop here for a second.
This feels like I remember
You
this
will
pile of...
recognize that, hopefully.
Yeah. But I'm guessing I just cleared the path down below.
Yep.
And okay.
It's a two-part shortcut, basically. That was a good thing to do. So go back behind you. Once that fellow is less angry at us.
So there's definitely some like mold spoilage, like peanuts with aflatoxin are a classic example, where like a mold spoilage can create higher concentrations of like a compound that is like
So,
a
go
carcinogen
back.
or that can make people sick.
Whoa, did you see that? There was an enemy that just like spawned and then fell down or something.
Yeah, that's
Oh, that
how
must've been a dead
that's how
body.
the game like level loading works.
Yeah.
Go back the way we came, please.
Okay.
Take a
So,
left
Mo,
in this little room.
The mold on peanuts that causes this problem is the same genus as the mold used in sake brewing.
I wanted to show you that there is not like a path here. There is just a frozen chest.
Okay.
That's all you needed to see. Yeah, the enemies spawning in and then falling to the ground. The game doesn't like keep the whole world around you loaded in at all times. Like, it keeps the collision geometry and like a lot of the textures and stuff, but enemies will kind of come and go as you kind of move around.
Right.
It's a thing you see
Just
a lot
memory
if you're like
CPU
sprinting
reasoning
through an
stuff.
area all the time. Yeah. So
That was a drop down. Well,
we
guess
got
I'm
far
stuck
enough
here
away
now.
from that corpse that it got unloaded, and when it loaded it back in, it just kind of puts it a couple feet above the ground and drops it so that it's not like clipped into the ground all weird. Aleum Lois. Okay.
Key ahead. Oh, nice.
Well, last time she told us to go away, there was like a big thing we couldn't see, and it did a murder. But I would say let's maybe not listen to her when she tells us to go away this time.
Hurrah for head.
No, yep. Eye of the Priestess. Let's
Only slightly ominous noise.
let's read that item description. We should be all right here. It's a key item.
Allows one to see the unseen. All the great priestesses replaced one of their birth eyes with this, returning it after their term was complete. Ew. I don't like that.
So
Do I
we were
have to put it in
talking
my
about the
eye?
mayonnaise having eyes earlier, and I had trouble not saying anything.
Wait, what?
Oops.
Ugh.
Okay.
So yeah, let's go down this way.
Oh. You're not a weird ice skeleton, but you're also not nice.
Well, they're also fucking dead. Just gonna. Well,
Yeah. What?
Never mind. You're alright.
Yeah, I wish I had more to talk about. I mean, it's we're doing ooh, mist. Okay,
Please.
whatever. At this point, I don't think leveling up matters. Oh. Okay, well, whoever said
I was
beware of
gonna say- I was
Pastor.
gonna say, please go for it.
Oh, okay, they're just blocking. They're just warning me about that one.
Yeah.
All right. All right, cool. Then I'm gonna go back to the start of this area because I wanted to explore a little bit more around there before we
Well,
call
we have
it
this
tonight.
thing that says "See the Unseen," so maybe let's go left again. We have about 10 minutes left. That bonfire we just got to is the next major bit of exploration. But that's not going to happen this episode. That's a pretty
Yeah, but I was
chunk of
saying
level.
I wanted to make sure that I didn't miss any side paths in the places that I went already. I'm not going to start a new boss with 10 minutes left to go. So
You're not going to like see anything. I don't want to explain more than that. We will have reason to run around there some more later, probably. Like, if we spend the 10 minutes doing that, we're just going to run around a bunch of stuff we've already seen that we're going to go back over later. Probably.
okay.
Oh, come on. The architecture is lovely. So you can damage the king's pet when it's invisible. I have seen video of people doing the fight that way. It is a bad time. But yeah, it's a big cat fight. Currently our two things to do are try the big cat fight or explore the bonfire we just got. But I'm trying to remember if there's anything else to say about this.
I didn't do anything. Oh, it's casting spells. Great.
Yeah,
Oh,
but they're not so
interesting.
bad. As long as you don't get tagged by all. So I didn't have to bother with really anything in this. I didn't have to do any. I didn't have to do any boss fights in this DLC to get the platinum, because the spells that you need to collect, you can just sprint to all of them in kind of the opening area. So I don't remember too well the particulars of the fight.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I'm also just not kind of feeling learning a new boss fight when we're basically done recording. So
I
might
mean,
just
we're not
peace
going
out
to
of here.
find anything cool or new.
Yeah, maybe we'll just wrap a little early tonight. So
I mostly suggested it just to sort of see what the actual fight is when it's not this invisible thing clobbering you.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna like the version of that fight / area in Dark Souls 3 is actually one of the like few times when I think it's just unequivocally better in 3.
what is?
There's like an area and a fight very similar to that sequence in Dark Souls 3, but I think it's like better across the board. Which like I think Dark Souls 3 receives a lot of like warranted criticism for like taking a lot of things directly from older Souls games in a way that's like not super interesting. But that is one where I think it works. Because honestly, I am. I think like I never got the visual on that boss in my playthrough, and now knowing what it looks like, I'm like underwhelmed. It's just a big cat. Eh.
It's a good cat, though.
Sure, yeah.
Bearer of until hope.
But it's also like
I thought we had cat. I thought
It's
we had
Dark
some
Souls,
cat
baby.
lovers on the stream.
I want weird stuff. I don't want animal but big.
Animal but big is like a number of the better. Animal but big with a sword is the best boss fight in the whole series.
That's the worst. Are you kidding? I felt so bad.
But it's a great fight.
I mean, like, sure.
I don't know.
That one's.
I don't know if I would say it's a great fight. Like I one-shot it without too much trouble when I played DS1, and I honestly don't really remember the fight.
I went there.
So
I think it was effective design.
I went there way earlier
Yeah.
than I should have been. So I like banged my head against that fight for a while. So I may have a different.
It is one of the.
that's
it's one
fair,
of the
but
best
also
cases
it's a
of,
lot
like-
easier, I think, than the enemies outside of the boss room. So, like,
But it's a boss that's there to like make you feel bad about fighting and killing a boss.
Sure,
Like
yeah.
it's kind of.
I
Like, it's
legitimately
one of
like
those classic-
didn't attack it for a while because I was trying to see if there was some trick to like beat the fight without actually killing it, and I unfortunately there's not. So, and like despite that, I still managed to one-shot the fight. So I don't know. It's cute boss design, but I don't think it's the best boss fight by any stretch.
Did I
No,
say best
and I
boss
think it's
fight or
like-
best
it's-
boss?
Best boss.
Okay.
But
I just
also,
want to make sure because I don't agree. Maybe it's not the best boss fight.
I'm just saying, like you could just have a big wonky. I don't know. This is why I like Bloodborne.
We all know
as a Soulsborne game.
the best boss fight. We all know who it is. It's Havel the Rock, baby.
Lady Maria of the Astral Rock Tower.
I
would
don't
say
feel
the
like
best-
that's
Lady Maria,
the
but
kind of
it's
music she's
Havel build.
into.
I would say the name of the best boss fight in all the FromSoft games, but it would be a spoiler for Sekiro, so I'm not going to say it. And that was enough to piss Peregrine off. Mission accomplished.
I'm just like, I'm just trying to think. I'm like, that implies that there's a really good boss fight in Sekiro, which, interesting.
Sorry, it wouldn't
The
be the
struggle
first
was
time you've been
internal,
wrong.
Peregrine. The best boss fight was against your own irritation.
I have sort of haven't thought about that game in like the month or two since I played it, and that's probably the most damning thing I can say about it compared to other Souls games. So that's where I'm at.
Well, I think maybe we should just leave it there. Maybe next week we'll have a little bit longer to play some more games, have some more things to talk about. But until
We
then,
got so much done. We got a
Yeah.
lot
we did.
done.
We made we killed
bosses and-
2 bosses, one of which plagued me for a while. Got that put away, and then started checking out the 3rd DLC.
Yeah.
So, which I don't even remember
we
the
wrapped
name of
up-
the area. What's it called?
Eleum Lois.
Aleum Lois. Okay,
Peregrine in the
Aleum,
next week.
Aleum.
that sounds like a name of a John Wick area.
Yeah, in the next
actually.
week, watch the first 2 John Wick movies, please.
God, only if you watch Evangelion. Like, we're gonna have to do a.
I'll watch
Ugh.
Deal.
A trade.
Because I do
discourse.
need to watch it.
Peregrine
I
is going to
like-
have a significantly better time than you, but both of you should do these things.
I will say this. I have been recommending people check out like the first 2 eps of Evangelion because like it's one of those things that's like got problems but has a place in like a culture, and like if you want any
Well, yeah,
slice
I mean,
of like
as long as
what-
people are recommending it with like, by the way, content warnings for all of these terrible things or whatever, right? And like kind of setting people up and letting them know what they're getting into. That's different than like, you have to watch it. It's so good, right? That's the kind of
and it's and like,
insufferable and
It's
like tends to
gonna-
hype people up for something that it is never going to live up to the expectations. And also in this case, like there is a lot to love in Ava, and there's a lot to be disgusted by.
I did
so.
get to the
like
point
I am
that like in the 7 to 13 lore reasons of it or waypoints of it, I couldn't follow anything in a way that didn't bother me having not watched Pride and Prejudice, but following, like, I feel like I've watched Pride and Prejudice at this point. I do not feel the same way about Ava.
You cannot. No, you like. This is the first time that I like am just very glad that I rewatched. Like, if I had not rewatched those
if you
episodes, I
hadn't been
still would
good.
not be able to follow. Like,
It's a visual show in a way that no Jane Austen anything ever will be, or
was intended
yeah,
to be.
or was
right?
intended to be. And so that makes it different to talk about even before you get into like all of the critical stuff and kind of reading into it that way, or trashing it for being really bad about certain things.
I will
Yep.
say that, like, for all of those bad things, like, Ava's bad with like gender and sexuality in a serious way. Well, in some ways, and in other ways, I actually think it's interesting. But like, it handles violence in a way that like I wish more things today did. Like, I really like.
How did we save the Ava discourse for 1 hour and 50?
Yeah, I don't mean to cut you off, but I feel like we just don't have enough time to get into this.
We have to settle this now.
So.
Niko, next episode we're going to need you to have a really bad time with our new friend Ava, the very large cat, and we can talk about Evangelion while you die over and over.
Sounds great. Sounds like a great time. Like, that fight felt doable. I just was not in the mental state to like be ready to like learn the boss. So
yeah.
But anyway, let's go ahead and wrap this one up. Sparkletone, where can the people find you on the internet?
I can be found on Twitter at Sparkletone and on the Waypoint Discord.
Peregrine.
You can hear all of my hot Ava takes at Twitch TV/Peregrine38, and tell me all of the ways I'm wrong at Terrific Broth on Twitter.
Yep, jump in Peregrine's mentions. They love it. Finally, we have Mo. He, him. I did the intro again. Fuck.
I have...
Mo, what's your shit?
My shit is that I have 186 hours and 48 minutes worth of disk space remaining for recording. So, I'm
That's
ready.
Good. That's a lot of disk space.
Let's get it.
We're ready to record another 180 hours of this show.
Give me those WIC coins and see what I can do. With Audacity.
And where can people find you on the internet?
At the Continental.
Okay.
Mo_swords at the Continental, which is Twitter.
Twitter is not as classy as the Continental, I'm sorry.
And also, that would imply that you can't conduct business on Twitter, which is not true at all.
That's true.
Anyway.
Maybe that was not a well thought out.
We're losing it. We're losing steam.
Anyway,
the train is coming off the rails.
This has been a quick look of Iceborne, Monster Hunter World's new DLC. We hope...
I'm your host, Niko. You can find me hanging out on the Waypoint Discord, and you can follow me on Twitter at Corey D. Shaw. Special thanks to 2 Mello for graciously allowing us to use his music. You can find the track Old Haunts and everything he does over at 2mellomakes.bandcamp.com. If you've missed any of our previous episodes, you can find them on my YouTube at bit.ly/NikoYouTube. We'll be back next week with more Dark Souls 2 right here on twitch.tv/Waypoint Community at 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. We hope to see you then. Join us for more of the 3rd DLC. Thanks for watching.